the hype, we've seen the plaudits that he's been getting, so much so that Brighton boss De Zerbi has actually said that he will win the Ballon d'Or one day.
He used to be his former coach, didn't he?
Yes, he did. A lot of money for someone who's technically unproven, if you want to call it that, in the top 5 leagues. But they need to pay these figures if they want to win the league. Do you think, from an Arsenal fan's perspective, is he the answer? Is he the man that you're pinning all your hopes upon? Or is there other areas that Arsenal need to strengthen before they go in for someone like Mudryk, who is definitely keen for the move? We've seen him drop loads of hints. He wants to come to Arsenal.
Yeah, I think he's 50% of the answer of what we need. I think if we get him and a central midfielder, able deputy for Thomas Partey, we're winning the league. It's confidently we're going to win it. But I believe we'll win it. I believe we're going to win it. But if we get those two, man, it's game over. It's actually game over, because now we're going to Man City levels where one world-class player comes out of our team and we're having someone who could come in seamlessly. I really believe Mudryk will be a fantastic signing for Arsenal. Say what you want about the price tag, say what you want about unproven, but the fact of the matter is he was one of the best left wingers in the Champions League group stage that we've seen this season. 21 years old, super young, got lots of potential. Arteta works well with young players. Bring him into that team. I see no reason why he can't thrive at Arsenal. I think he's 50% of what we need. If we can get him and another central midfielder to help out when Partey gets injured instead of El Neni.
So someone on my right here is saying if they sign them, you win the league easy. But someone on my left, as a Tottenham fan,
not easy. But I'm confident we win the league. It's game over.
Fuad, how do you react to that as a Tottenham fan?
I hear it. I hear the confidence, to be fair, and I personally rate Mudryk very highly. Like, from the Champions League, what I saw of him, and before that I was seeing compilation clips where I was like, mate, I've never seen a white kid this fast. Like, Iron Robin was the last
It's actually true, yeah.
Just purebred athlete, though, but he's so good in front of goal as well. You can question, obviously, the level of the Ukrainian league, but I think this is where you kind of, it's the gamble of the 70 mil. Is he worth that or is he not? I think if Arsenal have previously learned their lessons with Pepe, they would be more cautious, especially seeing how much Liverpool have just signed Gakpo for as well.
That's true.
You don't want to kind of get your fingers burnt. Seeing United 100 mil on Anthony, that's not really going swimmingly well. So, if I'm Arsenal, I wouldn't be too desperate to try and overpay, because I don't think at this present moment in time he would be that game changer. I think over the 6 months he'd be settling, getting used to the team. He'd probably be almost like an Arshavin when he came in January. But I think next season is where you start to panic a little bit, where they've got everybody fully fit, fully developed and settled into the system. I think it could be a problem if he signs, but not right now, in my opinion. I still think they won't win the title.
I disagree. I think you look at Ukrainian. He's Ukrainian. He's coming from
trenches. Trench, baby.
This is a guy, people were making jokes saying, they were basically putting pictures of someone eating a big tray of food when Mudryk signs for Arsenal. This is a guy who's hungry. That's what we need. This Arsenal team, again, people may call me biased. I see a group of people who are hungry to do something great. And all you're going to be doing with Mudryk is you're bringing another person who's hungry for greatness, putting him into that team under a manager who also wants to do something. It can only be good.
That's a huge factor, I think, as well, is he is someone who actually wants to play for the club. Yeah. And he's not just people can say it's twerking or whatever, but when a player puts his chips behind a club and says, no, I want to play for them because I love them, I grew up supporting them. And I feel like what you said there as well is a lot of the players at Arsenal right now, you look at Saka, you look at Martinelli, Emil Smith-Rowe, Nketiah, they're just happy to be there. They know they're literally trying to restore Arsenal to former glories, and they're almost seeing themselves as this new age, new wave, almost what Vieira, Henry, Perez, and all them were in 98, 99. They can be that generation. And if Mudryk can be kind of the cherry on top of the cake that's already being built by Arteta, go for it, man, in my opinion. But don't get desperate, is my thing. Yeah. You've seen Sancho, you've seen Anthony, you've seen Pepe firsthand, who's now, where is he? Nice.
Playing for Nice.
Hey,
but the thing is,
South of France.
But the thing is, Mudryk is not desperation. This is a player we actively wanted in the summer.
But my thing is, what I mean in desperation is don't overpay 80, 100 million. Where for me, there's still the gamble of he's not 100% proven.
Yeah. To be honest, I personally don't think Shakhtar, I could be wrong, but I don't think we're going to have to pay 80 M's to get him.
Okay,
I think
hypothetically, if you say
maybe 70
M's for
It's
him.
not far off it, though, is
I'll
it?
take it.
Or Zaha, 30 mil, right now.
That's tough.
Because you've got Premier League proven right there. Loves Arsenal as well. Will die for the club. I remember they were putting his name up in the clubs and stuff, and he was like, big up, I love the Gooners. So you've similar situation, but he's proven and one is unproven. Who are you picking?
I personally would take Zaha. I would. But
Contract up in the summer. Can get him on a free.
I personally would take Zaha. But the only reason why I'm saying let's go for Mudryk is I trust Edu.
Shiny
and I
toy
trust
excitement.
Arteta. No, I trust Edu and I trust Arteta.
Yeah.
Because we had lots of pressure last January. Buy a striker, buy a striker, buy a striker. We wanted Vlahovic. It was clear we wanted him. We couldn't get him. We could have panicked. We could have panicked and bought someone else. But we said, you know what? We only want the player that's going to fit the profile of what we're trying to do. And we got burnt for it, but we end up getting Jesus, who fits exactly what we want. So that being in mind, Ben White, it was laughed at when we spent lots of money on him. Thomas Partey, all of these players. So they've got now a track record of bringing in players that actually fit in with the identity of what the club's trying to do. So if they're really going all out for this Mudryk, I'm thinking they must see something.
They've done their homework.
They must have done their homework. They must have done their research. There's definitely a reason for us going so ham for this guy. We wanted him in the summer. We couldn't get him. We're going for him again because we most likely know if we don't get him now, someone's going to snap him up. So because of that, I'm saying let's get him. Let's get him. And he's going to help us.
I think this is a fairly similar situation to compare them to, because did we need Gakpo out of all the positions that we need to buy? No.
Bro, it's confused me, that transfer.
But at the same time, out of nowhere, we've got him, yes, to replace Diaz and Jota's injuries, but we've got him before anyone else could. And I think that's sometimes what you have to do, even if it isn't the person you need. We need midfielders before another striking option, but we haven't got it. But the person that we have got is someone so sought after that we had to put our hat in the ring.
Firmino to leave.
Do you know someone?
Firmino to leave, and then Nunes and Gakpo fight out for that central role.
No, because Klopp has said in his last press conference that he fully expects Firmino to sign a new deal, which will only be 2 years max, I think, just because of the age, which I'm fully all for, because it means that we'll have 10 years of Firmino if he stays for 2 or 3 more.
I hate Firmino, man.
Do you know what's mad?
Because he always scores against you.
Because he always scored against Arsenal.
Well, you mentioned Vlahovic earlier. Do you know who you would have got if you never got Vlahovic? Who you were linked with that window? Darwin Núñez. Do you remember that?
I'd take him.
35 million at that time.
I would take him.
And then some of these bozos came along and said, "Oh, we got money."
He's a good player.
I remember you at the time saying it was a panic reaction by...
Yeah, I'm still on your necks.
Okay.
I'm still on your necks.
Mudryk, what do you think of him, Nicky? Is he the answer to Arsenal's problems? Not that they've had many problems this season, but is he the man that they need?
Yeah, I think so. I watched them the other day, Arsenal, Boxing Day, and they're impressive. They're an impressive outfit. And they've got a lot of youngsters in there, and they've got a little bit of experience. Partey's experienced, Xhaka's experienced, and they've got a nice balance there. And I think, I know Saka's young, but he's a mesmerising player. He's really something to watch. They've got Smith Rowe's come back yet as well. They start adding quality to that, and that's what they've done really well over the summer. They've added a bit of quality. Zinchenko is experienced, Jesus is experienced, and they've got title-winning mentality. They know what it takes to win a title. So if they can just add more quality to it, they can only get better. I don't think they need much. I don't think they need much. I don't think it's one of them situations where you get into a transfer window saying, if we can get 4 players, I think we can kick on. I think they need 1 or 2. That's it.
They've put down the body of their work over the last couple of windows anyway, and I feel like their squad is kind of at that young level where they've built the spine and the 11 of it is pretty much set. Now it's just the cake is there. Let's add the icing and the cherry on top, in my opinion.
And plus, people are forgetting. Yes, Tottenham went on a mad run towards the end of last season. Yes, we sold Aubameyang, but I'm confident of it. If Saka and Martinelli weren't burnt out by the end of the season, we're getting top 4. That was the problem then, and I personally believe that's going to be a problem come the business end of the season. These guys, of course, Ødegaard is now coming into form now, scoring lots of goals. We got a decent replacement for him in Fabio Vieira, but Saka and Martinelli are so crucial to the way Arsenal play. If one of them is completely off it, you see a massive difference in drop-off in quality in the way we play. So I think if being able to now get at least on Martinelli's side, Mudryk looks to me like a like-for-like replacement for him in terms of speed, in terms of what he offers, in terms of taking on his man. Come on. Why wouldn't you take him?
With title-winning teams, you need players of that level across the whole squad. You can't have filler. You can't have a great 11, a great 15, and then add 8 players that, you need quality across it. And that's what Man City have got. They've got quality across the squad. It's convincing them to come, because, if you're getting into a transfer situation, he's going to tell you, am I going to play in front of Thomas Partey? Probably not. He's playing out of his skin at the minute.
Yeah.
And, is he going to turn around and go, well, but I think Pep is a good, sorry, not Pep, Arteta is a good Pep clone. And I think he's got the gift of the gab about him, and I think he can convince people to come to Arsenal. And I think they're going to.
Arsenal have that heritage.
They're setting a nice foundation. Yeah. And it's good to see Arsenal back.
Just need to get rid of Cedric now. We're good to go.